Namo Adita Pha. Thank you for joining me for our daily practice check-in. Listen, listen, listen. This beautiful sound calls us back to our true home. The fourth mindfulness training. Aware of the suffering caused by unmindful speech and the inability to listen to others, I vow to cultivate loving speech and deep listening in order to bring joy and happiness to others and to relieve others of their suffering. Knowing that words can create happiness or suffering, I am determined to speak truthfully with words that inspire self-confidence, joy, and hope. I will not spread news I do not know to be certain, and will not criticize or condemn things of which I am not sure. I will refrain from uttering words that can cause division or discord, or that can cause a family or community to break. I'm determined to make all efforts to reconcile and resolve all conflicts, however small. For our Dharma lesson, we've been reading Beginning Our Day, Volume 2 by the monastics of Abhayagiri Monastery. Today, we're reading Beautiful Work, Beautiful Mind by Ajahn Dhamma. Whether it's sewing robes or making a footpath, the forest tradition has a high standard of workmanship. But quite often, we're asked to do things we're not competent in or used to doing. There's a learning curve we all go through in the Sangha. If we've never had to do welding and we end up assigned a welding job, or if we've never been an abbot and we end up being an abbot, it becomes a real training in how we learn new skills. One of the monks at Chithurst Monastery was a very good carpenter and cabinet maker and, in general, an excellent worker. He once suggested that one of the best ways to learn a manual craft or skill is to undo any mistakes we've made rather than covering them up. I saw him do that several times. He would be building something quite complicated, like a staircase, and if he saw a mistake, he would reverse his steps until he'd gone back to the place where the mistake was made, and then he'd correct it. My tendency had been to keep going after making a mistake and hope that no one would notice it. Watching this monk work, I also noticed that once he had retraced his steps backward to correct some mistake he'd made, he tended not to make that same mistake in the future. Not surprisingly, his work was very beautiful. Once I watched Lungpo Liam make a beautiful broom. It was a fabulous example of very mindful craftsmanship. His hands were so attentive and efficient. Lungpo obviously has the gift for it, but that gift has been greatly enhanced by his many years of training and mindfulness. When our task involves working with others, it's a perfect opportunity to develop the beautiful skill of patience. For example, we may have a skill or aptitude for the task and already know how to do it quickly, but we're working with someone who is a bit clumsy and slow because he or she doesn't have that same training or aptitude. In that situation, we need to practice patience with each other. Whether or not we already have the skills required to tackle a certain project we've been assigned, it's always rewarding to do things carefully and beautifully as best we can. Abhayagiri's lodgings and buildings are quite beautiful. Whether it's the robe rail or the sleeping platform, they are all nicely done. I can appreciate everything it must have taken to complete these lovely works, the mindfulness and workmanship, the patience, and the willingness to learn. May all beings be well. May all beings be happy. May all beings be peaceful. Namo Adita Phat. Thanks so much for joining me today.